All right, let's go ahead and get started. This is the first time that I have done a live that I can actually remember. So I figured it was probably time to go ahead and do another one. So I want to talk about what it looks like as a business living with some business clutter, a little bit of business chaos. And this is going to be creating space to breathe with simple systems. Because when we keep things simple, we are able to actually make more progress. So I am Tiffany Welch. Sorry. Hi, I am the owner here with Prestige Purpose. Forgot to introduce myself. But if you've been following me, you know I am all about systems clarity and simplicity. And today I'm going to talk about how I work with clients to clear that business clutter, to create real space for business owners to take the step back and breathe. Because clutter, it's not just physical, the items that are around you, it's also digital. Think about on your hard drive of your computer, your Google Drive. Oh my gosh. It's also mental. It's things that are going on in the background of our mind, things that we are thinking about from last week or something we passed on the road, like an object. And these things still are focus and our energy. Most business owners are drowning in clutter and they do not even realize it. Those old files that are hanging out in the Google Drive, some outdated like checklists, messy email inboxes. A lot of my clients, step one is email inbox because it's the thing that they're checking 10, 15 times a day. Our goal is to narrow that down to 3 to 4 times a day with a clean email inbox. It could also be checklist. I think I said that one. Spreadsheets. Think about how many spreadsheets you used to work off of. What happened to them? And those systems that don't actually work anymore because maybe you have outgrown that system. As your business has grown, it no longer worked. We now do this. So this clutter, it actually costs you time, but it causes so much overwhelm. It keeps you stuck in busy work instead of focused growth work. So here's the goal. It's clear, simple, clearing the clutter so that your business runs smoother, so that your team knows exactly what to do and you get time and peace back, right? Your phone's not ringing constantly and you're over here scrolling like, oh my gosh, will it just shut up? I want to teach you how to do that. You want systems that serve your business today, not when you were 500,000 less than you are today. They need to serve your systems, serve your business today. Okay? Because when you were a smaller company, when you only had 3 people working for you, when you only had whatever it was, and you've moved to where you currently are, those systems have to change. Have you ever had the perfect system and it worked really well, and then all of a sudden it's broken? Why did it break? Because you outgrew the system, but you didn't update it as you grew. So here's a couple of steps to follow. And this is the exact process that I take my clients through on the journey of clearing business clutter so that they can create that space to breathe. We start with a systems audit. Systems audit is digging into those digital systems. You give me access to your Google Drive. My team and I are sifting through what do you have in here? Wherever you keep your business documents. And so if it's on your hard drive, we're going to say, hey, can you put them on a Google Drive? We also do on-site visits. So I will, not the whole thing. I will fly to you, come and sit in your office and dig through your actual filing cabinet. I'm going to pull out everything. I'm pulling out handbooks. I'm pulling out policies, checklists, SOPs, any templates and old outdated forms. I need to look at everything. And I need to look at it as a big picture. So a systems audit is digging through those documents that you have and then aligning them with your company vision. So we're going to ask, does this still fit your business goal and how you want to run things? That answer is yes. It's going to stay. Maybe we need to revamp it though, right? Maybe it needs to be updated. But if it no longer aligns, we need to delete it. If it's outdated, confusing, no longer just useful, we want to cut it out. And what I have found with working in different industries is we're all a little sentimental about some forms that we purchased in a package or got from someone else or paid the $99 to get the bundle, and we never even opened the dang thing. So less is actually more, because when we're creating space to breathe, we want to see white space. We want to see room to grow into something. So again, if it's just not clear, it's not useful, even if you're sentimentally attached to it, but have never even opened it, changed it, made it yours, we're deleting it. You don't need their great idea that didn't align with your vision anyway. Align, delete, simplify. Third one is simplify and organize. So everything else that's left after the align deletion phase is cleaning up. We're going to rename files what they actually are. How many times have you gone to Google and you're like, I'm looking for inside this drive. I know what it's called. It's a policy. And you just can't come up with it because we've overcomplicated it. We named it something it wasn't. So we're going to rename the files what they actually are. Attendance policy, call out procedure. We're going to group similar documents together. And we're going to restructure your folders within your Google Drive so that you can find what you need fast. Then step 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm on step 5. We're going to fill in gaps. So this is where we're looking for missing pieces. Maybe, let's say, I'm going to go with a checklist. First thing that typically happens that we look at is an onboarding checklist. Because when someone comes into your company, whether it be a client or an employee, there's a list of things that have to happen, typically in a sequential order, right? Like first things first, they have to apply for the job. They have to get the offer letter. They have to accept the letter. I want you to think of each step as a trigger, an action item, an action step, because it like pulls a lever. Yes, they accepted the offer. Activate this letter. Here's the onboarding checklist. Now here's what happens. We go through that, what you already have. Do you still do this? Or maybe there's 3 steps here that are duplication of work. Maybe we need to regroup them and organize them. They should fill out all of their pre-hire documents prior to walking through the door. Only time that we do that on site is when they can't because there was a technology issue. Okay, so we're going to group all of those like items together. Let's think about typically after we do onboarding, we look at like a scheduling workflow. Most of the clients that I work with are in the service industry. They have a schedule either for a client or an employee, and some have both. So like field service workers have both. Looking at a scheduling workflow, we start at the beginning. Hello, Mrs. Smith, we would like to schedule your service for. That's creating a system, a route system. And so that scheduling workflow is typically the second thing that we look at. And then we build clear, simple steps to fill any gaps that you may have within that system. And then finally, we have to train and do some checks and balances. So we don't just build it and forget it. That does nothing. It's still sitting back there. So we're going to help you train your team. And I even tell my clients, jump on with your team, your admin, or whomever is going to be the person rolling this out. Let's work with them together so that when we train and we're doing this delegation step, we're training correctly, right? It's not, hey, here's how you do it and you walk away. That's not delegation. That's actually what we call dumpster dumping because you're like, here's my dumpster, great, good luck. That's not actually training your team. So I want to help you train the team to roll out the system with check-in marks and making sure that everything works. And if something's off, we're going to stop and tweak it. Now, I'm going to be very clear and very honest here. This process, just the auditing and the training, takes about 4 to 6 weeks. Why on earth does it take so long? When we recreate a procedure, a system, let's think about scheduling workflow, for instance. I mentioned that one earlier. We're going to train the team. We're going to check in 2 days later. How's the new system going? What works well? What does not work well? Where do they feel stuck? Where are they hitting like a roadblock to where it's like, oh, this feels really forced. And when it feels really forced, we take that step back. Why does it feel forced? Maybe something was not communicated clearly. We also have to go and add those steps back in. And we want to make sure that they're working, because if it's not working, it needs to be tweaked instantly. Then we roll it back out. Here's version 2. Same thing. We're going to check in a couple of weeks. The final part of this is once they get it and they're like, yes, this is it. This system flows. It's simple. It's easy. Takes less than 5 minutes. They're rolling through the process. They're able to do the onboarding checklist or the workflow so well that they can then teach it back to you, which is the final step of delegation. This is that feedback loop. They're teaching it back to you. Now, why does this all matter? And it matters because clutter steals your focus and your energy. And you guys have heard me say this all the time, because your focus on the work that's directly in front of you needs your energy, your focus. Cell phone doesn't ring and pull you out. Email doesn't pop up and pull you out. Community chat doesn't pop up and pull you out. You are focused on what matters. And when your systems are messy, you're stuck putting out fires instead of growing, and you're constantly being interrupted. Clear systems give you confidence to delegate. It gives you freedom to step away. And that's how we create space to breathe. That's how you build a business that works for you and not the other way around. Because I remember not being able to take a vacation because the entire time I'm glued to my phone. I'm answering questions. I'm voice dropping memos. I'm not able to fully step away. So here's what I want you to think about. If you had an emergency, this is a true story. A tree falls and hits you in the hurricane, breaks your arm, instantly takes you out of work. You can't communicate because there's no cell phone service. You have no power for almost 2 weeks. You are literally just there. Would your business keep running? Thankfully, mine did. If you're ready to stop drowning in the clutter that surrounds you and you want to create that real space to breathe in your business, I do offer complimentary strategy sessions. I don't talk about those much. They are on my website, or you can message me directly and say, drop me your calendar link. I live off of my calendar. Happy to drop that for you. It's 30 minutes. We'll jump on. We'll take a look at a system where maybe you're just stuck right now. And together we'll build a quick plan, because it's only a 30-minute call, that fits your business and your life. I can drop the link below, I think. But let's get you out of those weeds of, if I only knew how to, if someone could only help me. I do screen share with my clients. I build with them. I work directly with them, with their team members. I want to see you be successful. I want to see you have creation of space to breathe. I want to see the physical clutter gone, but I also want to see the mental clutter gone. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, don't go live very often. It gives me a lot of anxiety. But if it was helpful, I want you to subscribe and share. Everybody else says it, so why not? I think we're actually ready to start growing this channel now. And if you hear someone that just seems like maybe they need a little help too with systems and structure and clarity, let them know. Tiffany Welch with PrestigePurpose.com.